Hello and welcome to The Hero Spouse. I'm Kendra Ruth, here to answer one of your questions about marriage and midlife crisis. Today we have an anonymous female left behind and forward-moving spouse with a bomb drop of August 16th, 2021 and a date of marriage of 2001. She says she has a vanisher, but no, I'm not going to say vanisher at all because there's contact and a low energy wallower. She says there's been a shift in the last month and I'm just wondering if it means anything all of a sudden. Anything I say to my ex in regards to the kids, house, lawyers, he says, I'm shaming and blaming him. Poor baby. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that, but I realize that he's finally feeling and blame. So he's feeling blame, but I think she's really talking about, as she goes on, that he's able to suddenly feel things and have emotions and senses. And I'm hoping that's a good thing, but he started to recognize his behaviors and actions these past few years, and it's very difficult to deal with him co-parenting with the kids. I have full custody because he didn't want them, but when I call him out for his bad behavior and lack of communication, he says I'm harassing him, but he never used those words before, and it's not really accurate. I find it interesting to see that maybe he can actually feel things. I'm wondering if regret and remorse come next. What stage do you think he's in? I'm not standing anymore. I have realized my worth, and that man was not respectful at all in our marriage, and he engaged in too many women. Well, good for you. Okay. Stage think he's in? He could be. He's starting to realize things. He could be headed, going toward a liminality. Liminality is hard. What I mean is, sometimes it's recognized in hindsight. We all think they're going in there. But he's starting to feel some regret, remorse. He's starting to complain. And so he could be headed there. He's also just being a big kind of complainer, though, isn't he? Oh, you're shaming me. You're blaming me. So he's being a whiny baby. And is it because he's feeling things? Maybe it is. And what that might mean is he doesn't like feeling them. And they don't feel pleasant. So he wants to continue to project, in other words, to blame. It's not me. You're bothering me. You're harassing me. It's not anything I've done wrong. Just stop bugging me. Can't you get off my back, Mom? So it's a bit of that. So that's still some escape and avoid behaviors. But I like how you're saying, does this mean he can feel? Now here's the thing, they could all feel. They could feel before this, okay? Empathy doesn't, blocked empathy doesn't mean you can't feel. We might become really hardened. And it is hard sometimes blocked empathy. It's not about a feeling, but it's about the ability to sense the emotions, to read a room. You walk in and can you read the room? Or you walk in and maybe not read the room. Maybe you can read the room, but you don't know how to then be within that room. So I walk in and there's crying. And I knew that there was going to be difficulty because Grandma had just died. But all the girls, and I'm a guy, and they're crying. Oh my God, people are crying. What do I do? What do I do? I'm thinking almost like of Ron Weasley from Harry Potter when he was telling Hermione that he just didn't know how to handle it when people were crying. And what do I do? And so it's not even then. It's just that he could read the room and know, well, they're crying because somebody died. But I don't know what to do with those tears. I don't know how to handle them. I don't know how to comfort them. So he might be progressing and that he's feeling something, or you're overanalyzing because you're really noticing this, and that's great. Or are you just overanalyzing? I'm not sure because you don't want him anymore. So why overanalyze it? So I don't know. He's just going to keep progressing. And is he going to feel remorse? Probably. Or at least, let's take away the remorse. Is he going to feel regret? Remorse is a big one. Is he going going to feel regret that he lost out, that I don't have my wife anymore. I lost my kids. Everyone hates me. Everybody hates me, and it's all their fault. I lost everybody. But they could have just taken me back. They should have just taken me back. So one of the things, I mean, Chuck knew he'd done all these wrong things. But he said, you know what? It would have ended then, you know, maybe 6-8 months or 1 year in, if you'd just done this instead of this. And I seem to recall it was, if you just let me come home. Now, everyone listening, remember, I'm the one who'd let him come home 7 times. So I just looked at him and go, Chuck, I did do that. Because oftentimes the thing he said, if you'd done this, were things I'd done. And, you know, so it was proving to him, no, that wasn't going to stop your crisis and make you better. You have to be better on your own. So I can't tell you what, you know, stage I think he's in. I find it interesting that he's progressing onto feeling things. But you said that he's engaged in too many women, and you said at all in our marriage, as though this was not just something that was isolated to a midlife crisis. That this was just not something that had been isolated when he was he the coach? During this time. And, you know, he's got to figure himself out, turn his life around. And you're going to have to co-parent with him, and you're going to have to hold his feet to the fire, and you're going to have to treat him like a parent. Even when he's acting 17, you don't treat him like he's 17. And he's not going to like that because he doesn't want to be responsible. And he may complain. And hopefully, eventually, he'll step up to the plate, but we'll see. Was he somebody who stepped up to the plate prior to MLC? And I don't know if I would have asked that from your previous question, but I'm asking it based on this one only because you said he was not respectful at all in our marriage and he engaged in too many other women. So that's making it sound like there were issues beforehand. Okay. Sorry, I don't know if I was very helpful with it, but I do hope if I was. If not, and you have more questions, let me know. And I will see everybody in the next question.